All right, this is the moment you've been waiting for. The big announcement on the Talon for the drop date. These will be dropping on November 20th, next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So I've got 4 versions of this. There's going to be the Black Dunes. And of course, you can see my logo engraved. The overlays. I was once told that my logo should be kind of subdued and shouldn't be able to really see it. So that prompted me to make the logo so large that it doesn't even fit on the knife. I guess I'm kind of rebellious in that way. The second version we've got here is the dark matter polar. These are all materials from fat carbon, and they're carbon fibers. The next one we have is the Arctic Storm. Got a nice blue and black there. The pattern does vary a little bit from overlay to overlay, but that's the basic look there. And the last one is the Mars Valley. So you've got a black, red, and orange. All right, so let's talk about the Talon just a little bit. It's M390 blade. We've got titanium frames, titanium backspacer, titanium grip clip. I'm all upside down and backwards here. Okay, so the grip clip, if you're not familiar with that, it's a pivoting arm versus just a machined spring or a bent spring. One of the things I really like about this system is that since this isn't meant to be a flexible spring, I can make the clip very strong and stout. So if you catch this on something, your clip is not going to break. Now the thing that you catch the clip on might break, but the clip is not going to break. The other really nice thing about this is how it goes in and out of your pocket. So instead of having to shove this into your pants and force the spring up, which wears out your pants and can be a total pain to get in and out, sometimes you have to use 2 hands, one to hold the lip of your pants tight so that you can shove this into your pocket. So with this one, you just relieve the pressure on the spring, slides right into your pants pocket, holds on, grips, and then when you're ready to pull it out, there's some serrations right here, so you can just squeeze and pull it right out of your pants. So I've been a big proponent of grip clips. I've been making them for a long time, and I'm a little biased, but I think they are great. The Hawk Lock. So the way this works, this is the button for unlocking it. And if you were to imagine in this plane, there's a pin inside the blade. And so when the knife opens, the pin at this point is starting to push on the lock. You can see the button moving back. And once the pin goes past the lock slides forward and then locks onto that pin. So there's a plate underneath this overlay that's locking onto that pin. So anyways, you unlock it like that. The detent system on this is pretty unique. I call this the toggle detent. And the way this functions is let's get my fingers out of the way here. If you watch the blade, you can see that the blade is actually moving as I move the flipper. So it gives a nice smooth deployment and a nice crisp deployment. So I've got a rook here by Serge Panchenko that has some clear overlays so you can see the mechanism. And again, we have a pressed pin inside the blade, or in the blade. We've got this toggle mechanism or toggle part, and then a spring keeper, or as I like to call it, the keeper of springs, And there is the spring. So as I move the blade, you can see that mechanism moving back and forth. So again, we're compressing, building pressure, and then at a certain point, the detent kicks out of the way and releases fully and allows the blade to open. What's really nice about this versus a more traditional detent is like on a liner lock or a frame lock, is you're building up pressure, like kinetic energy in your finger, and once you have enough pressure, it breaks that detent, and then the knife opens. So again, you get a nice smooth transition with the toggle detent. It's also going to last longer because anytime you have, if you imagine on the blade, there's like a divot, and then you've got a ball or some other type of feature that's riding into that pocket, and you're breaking over that the edge of the divot in the blade. So over time, that can wear out, and your detent will get a little bit weaker. But with this, you've got a hardened steel toggle little plate in there, and it's just pivoting, and it looks super cool. So that's important as well. Okay, there's a little bit of information here on each knife. You can't really see it in this video, but you can kind of see there's something there on either side of the frame. So we have the patent number for the hawk lock mechanism, and on the other side we have the name of the knife, the Talon, G&G Hawk, the year it was made, and the blade steel. These ones have prototype on them, but the prototypes have all been sold or are spoken for. Okay, there are a couple of ways to open this. It's definitely designed to be a flipper, but there's also this stop pin here that you can flip open with your thumb, just like that. And if you're really good, you can flick it out with your finger on the opposite side, but I'm not good at that, so we're not even going to attempt it. Some design features here. Aesthetically, I really like a big, thick backspacer. And so you can see here, it's recessed into the frames a little bit. So that allowed me to make this extra thick. So we get the accent of a backspacer, but when it's actually in your hand, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It feels very, very nice in the hand because it fills up the hand. I've got the pivot here that comes with a pivot tool, so you can always adjust that, and then standard hardware back here, which is just a T6. Okay, well, that is the new Talon. Again, these will be dropping November 20th, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And those that aren't familiar with the way that the selling process works, I have a newsletter. On the day of the drop, I'll be sending out an email, so make sure you're signed up for the newsletter. And that email will have a link which will take you to a cart, and you'll be able to pick which overlay options that you want. My favorite is the Black Dunes. When you get this in the light, the chatoyance there is really cool. I am adding a new feature to this drop. So these will start shipping in about 3 months from when I take orders, maybe a little bit sooner. I like to say 3 months just so that, if there's any issues, nobody gets too upset. And if I start shipping them out before 3 months, everybody's happy. So when you first go to the cart, it'll say, it'll have an estimate of 3 months. As I start making sales, that number will be updated. I expect the cart to be over flooded in the beginning. So if it says 3 months, and by the time you get to checkout, that time might have changed because of all the orders that got in there before you completed your purchase through the cart. But when you get the receipt for your deposit, that will have a better estimate. Again, these are just estimates on the time frame, but that will tell you that it's 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever it ends up being on your order. An important part that I forgot to mention is the price. So these are going to be selling for $950. Deposit is $300. So put down the deposit during the drop, and once your knife is ready, we'll send you an invoice for the balance. And we will also be sending out a text message when your invoice goes out, as well as an email with a link to complete the purchase. So there it is, the new Talon dropping in a week. All right, thank you guys.